All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Conversations with the Figure Junkie. I am NorCal Voodoo, your host. And with me today is a very dear friend of mine, someone who I've gotten to know really well over the past few years. And I wanted to have him on to give everybody else uh, more understanding as to my figure bestie. Uh, People who watch Figuring It Out, Conversations with a Figure Junkie. Know him as Reckless4130. Others know him as Bryan. Welcome to Conversations with the Figure Junkie. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you, man. Um, so trying not to do all this like I normally do, but still trying to stick to the structure since you and I do know each other so well. Uh, let's go with the format of Bryan as an early child with collecting. What did you pick up? What you play with as a kid when you were, starting out in the action figure experience in life?
Um, from as far as back as I can remember, I have an older brother. He's 8 years older than me, and him and I really didn't like mesh on like a level until I was older, obviously, because we were into different shit. We were 8 years apart. But he always had Star Wars figures, and seldomly, I was allowed to fuck with them. So I was allowed to pick like maybe two or three at a time, and he would get them down, and I would play with them a couple of figures for the X amount of time. And it was always Yoda, a Stormtrooper, and maybe Darth Vader, and maybe Luke or,
Nice.
or Han, so something like that. You know what I mean? And I mean, he knew I was good with them. I never fucked him up or nothing like that. So it was like, here's your one chance. Don't continue to fucking kick yourself in the ass and ruin it. But up
Right.
until then, I had two twin cousins that were the same age as my brother as well, and they were into GI Joe. So whenever I went over to see my aunt, and see my cousins, they always had GI Joes out. They let me play with them, and they always had wetsuit out. So like, I mean, as you know,
Okay.
he's one of my favorite ones, and I'm on the younger side of the spectrum as far as collectors go for classified, wise. I'm 41, and it's always been GI Joe and Star Wars ever since I was a small kid. So then we moved out of our house we were in at that time, and we moved into a different neighborhood. And I met like three of my best friends, and they're still my best friends to like this day in the area where I live. And
Okay.
one of them's in our group, Jamie. Him and I have been friends since we were 9 years old. You know what I mean? And him and I just got into GI Joe, and it's been GI Joe, GI Joe, GI Joe. And like I said, we were younger, so we were constantly missing the good ones per se. You know what I mean? Like Storm Shadow, the first couple Snake Eyeses, the Dreadnoughts, all the good stuff. So we were constantly trying to find them. You know what I mean? That was the main goal. So flea markets, antique malls, anywhere we went, and he basically lived in my house from the time we were kids until the time we got older. You know what I mean? So my
Mm,
mom would take us to the store, and as you know, back then, if you go to the toy aisle, you knew you were going to get a fucking new GI Joe. So my mom was cool as shit about this. She'd always let him and I pick one out. I mean, back then they weren't too expensive, so like it was awesome. Like we'd run to the toy aisle, and I'd find one, he'd want it. We just make sure we both left happy. And ever since then, I mean, we would dabble here and there like we do now. If it's cool, it's cool. You're going to get it. If it
yeah.
plays, it plays. So him and I were always jumping to other lines and what have you. And our other buddy Kyle, he was in the mix too, pretty much, and he would collect with us, but not as heavy. But basically, it was that way until we got older. Then when you get older, you kind of stop, move on to other things and what have you. But it's always been solid GI Joe for us.
Did you mentioned, of course, wetsuit being one of them. Is wetsuit like your number one go to favorite figure, the only one you're going to be able to play with if you could only play with one for a long time, or was there somebody else?
No, I mean back then, like I mean, first of all, I'm a Gemini, so I mean, I got two personalities. Shit flip flops for me all the time. So, I mean, it just like depends on the day. Back then, though, like he was the one I didn't get, and when we were younger, my grandfather was a pastor, and whenever he would be giving his sermons, me and my cousins would sit behind the piano, and we just sit back there and play with toys and shit. And they always had wetsuit behind the piano, so he was just the one I always play with, and he'd be always the one I was trying to get and never found. You know what I mean? He was like the holy grail back then. But as of right now, in the line as it sits, it's like there's just so many good ones, man. And if I had to choose one now, I mean, you probably know it was it'd be Clutch. I mean, I had two of them, and you twisted my arm a little bit, so you got the second one. I was I was more than happy to help you out with that, man. I mean, I mean, if I got it, I want you to have it. So that's just
I
the way I've always
appreciate
been.
that.
That's the way I am my whole life. You know what I mean? And then my dumb ass, I'll order them. You know what I mean? I'll get them when they drop, and I just assume everybody has what I have. You know what I mean? And I don't realize that someone's missing something. And if I got it, you know what I mean? And I don't necessarily need it. Then I mean, why not? You know, help someone else out.
I remember first time I came across wetsuit. I was still little, and my mom was engaged to her first husband, and we just moved into these little duplex apartments over on in the town that we were from in Ukiah, California, and there was this like little itty bitty sectional like dirt backyard that each duplex had. So they were sectioned off. So everybody had like a little fence to gate everything off. And there was a kid who was younger than me who played with G.I. Joes who lived next door. And he had a wetsuit, full gear and everything on the ground on the other side of the fence, just far enough to where I could not reach it. Like if I stuck my hand through, and I fucking did several times trying to get that fucker, it was about 6 inches short of being able to grab it. And it taunted me every fucking day for a year while we were there. And then eventually it got covered over, and it as far as I know, still there up until we moved out.
He's part of the yard now.
Yeah. Eventually, of course, I was able to pick one up during classified scale. I never had one of the originals.
I didn't until recently. You know what I mean, when we started collecting again. Like I said, my buddy Jamie, he's into G.I. Joe hardcore. So like he'll collect the O-rings.
Real quick, I do want to mention to the audience that Jamie is a different Jamie. It's not the same Jamie, Monkey King 13, that we have on the channel that co-host Conversations with the Figure Junkie and other FIO events. It is another one. It's different spelling. And, of course, childhood friend of Bryan's.
Yeah, he, like I said, we've been friends forever. And we started collecting again. We'll get into that, I mean, eventually. But we went to this toy store north of me that I got that Chuckles for You from, and he has everything there. And it was just the one I never had, so I picked it up. It was the file card, everything. He was pretty mint, so he's the only O-ring G.I. Joe I currently only have. But Jamie, he's hardcore. He's hardcore into G.I. Joe. He collects Turtles hardcore too. He has multiple things he still dabbles with, as far as that goes. But it's really cool to see how he does it. He'll put the O-ring figure, and then he'll get the 25th figure, and then he'll put the classified figure, and he puts them all together. It's pretty fucking cool, honestly. It's an endeavor, though. I mean, he's constantly looking, you know what I mean? And I'm constantly looking for him. So, like, we went to this toy show last Sunday. What is today? Tuesday? So, yeah, recently.
Yeah.
And we constantly got to look at every single O-ring one, make sure he doesn't have it, because if he does, we're going to get it. You know what I mean? And then we went to the toy store, it's not far from where they had the toy show. So we stopped in there and we checked out some things. And he ended up picking up 25th anniversary Crazy Legs. So it worked out. You know what I mean?
Nice. Very nice. So obviously we mentioned that you collected and played, not collected, you played with toys as a child. And then, of course, as we all know, we grow up. And as we grow up, we kind of step away from figures and get into other things. Knowing you as a classified collector, when did you get started with those? Was it right out the jump? Was it years later, recently?
So
what got you into it?
I was a little tardy to classified, so I missed out on like the earlier waves. So I did some catching up. Essentially, what had happened was my buddy Kyle, that I mentioned that we grew up with, he's a tattoo artist here in town. And he's a good friend of mine still to this day. I was in his wedding, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, called me over to the house one day when we checked something out. And he is like a hoard of shit. I'm like, where did you get all this stuff at? I was oblivious to any of it. Oblivious. I was just, you know, doing whatever. Life was lifing. And he's like, yeah, you can pre-order all this shit, this, that, and the other. And then he had a lot of McFarlane stuff. So like I just started, you know, dabbling in that here and there. And then I got to talking to Jamie one day. I was like, dude, have you seen any of this shit? Like, what the fuck's going on with this stuff? He's like, a little bit, because he lives in a bigger city, about 2.5 hours, 3 hours south, and he makes it home when he can. And I go down there when I can, et cetera, et cetera. And so they're both kind of like in it. Kyle was like in it. And then something had happened, and he missed some work. I think it was COVID. He got sick, and he's like I said, he's a tattoo artist, and he needed some funds. So I went shopping. At his house, and I was just picking up shit left and right because he had doubles and this, that, and the other. He forgets he pre-orders shit, like we all do. And I got into it pretty hardcore. And then the one day talking to Jamie, he said, "Did you see that Hasbro is going to bring out the Crimson Twins?" I said, "I did not, because those were two of the figures that him and I always wanted, and we never got them until later, obviously."
Yeah.
And so I was I had no clue about Pulse at this point either. I did not know about Pulse. So my wife has Amazon, obviously. I mean, whose wife doesn't, right?
Right.
And she was gracious enough to pre-order them for me while she was at work one day, and then after that it was hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I had found Scarlet one time at GameStop when I was still trying to doing the McFarlane shit, and
The
she was the
classified
first.
Scarlet.
Yeah, the classified Scarlet, the first one of the first ones, and I didn't even
It was
think it
one of the
was
first
like,
ones. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't think it was a whole line at that point. I just thought it was something that maybe they just had brought out. I'm like, okay, cool. This is pretty sweet. The knives come out, the mags come out, what have you. It's a solid figure. I'm pretty happy with it. And then seeing the twins, I mean, things started falling into place. I'm starting to realize, oh, you can pre-order this shit, this, that, the other. There's a lot more than that what I seen here. And then
Mm-hmm.
Jamie hit me up one day out of the blue, and he's like, "You want to come down and go to this huge ass toy show down here?" And I said, "Yeah, it's cool. What is it?" And it was PowerCon. So I mean, shit, our first time going down there, man, I caught up quick. I had like fucking bags and bags and bags of classified stuff, man. Like, it was over. It was
Yeah.
downhill at that point. And him and I, we had a fucking heyday down there, man. And we actually went and did two of those before they canceled it. And I think now something happened with conflicting dates or whatever. So now basically it's Toy Atlanta now. They go to Toy Atlanta. So
Okay.
there's no more PowerCon as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I'd like to
But
hit up Toylanta. I think that would be fun.
it definitely would be. I mean, that's something that we all maybe should do. It's able in our group. I mean, whoever is able to do it. I know it's not feasible for everybody, but it would definitely be fun. I guarantee it would be. But essentially, after that, I was I was stuck. I mean, you were I was already in it. And then at some point after that, I got into one of the groups, I believe, on the Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
just chit chat here and there, and just showing off what you got and shit. And then you meet people, obviously as the time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And then essentially, I met a guy. His name's Turk Murphy. Him and I started chatting over one of those mechs, and I mean, like, not jumping too far ahead, but everybody knows with classified, you customize and you kit bash and you do your own thing. And I was already into that shit already, and Turk was already hardcore into it, being the fabricator that he is and mechanic that he is. And him and I just started chit chatting, and we became pretty good friends, And it's ability, or it's obvious, abundantly obvious, that certain locations get things before other locations, and some locations don't get anything,
Yeah.
via this store, via that store. And it was like I had an abundance of this, he had an abundance of that. He's like, "Oh, I missed that. I missed that. I got this, that, the other." I was like, we're cool. I'll just send it to you." He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll do a little trade, whatever. I love trading. I've always loved trading since I was a kid, Jamie. I'll tell you that. I'm a bartering motherfucker." And him and Turk and I became pretty good damn friends, And him and I were chit chatting one day, and he's like, let's see if we can find some other guys that are on the level that are trustworthy, want to do a fair fucking deal and not fuck someone over, and see if you can get things, you know what I mean, and not have to travel far away to do so. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, And we met another guy, and he's currently in our group now, Daniel Garcia. He's a good little kid, kind of a buddy of ours. And him and I did a trade, and from there it snowballed. We started, finding people here and there. Turk would find someone, I'd find somebody, and then we basically explained to them, like, listen, this is a no bullshit type thing. Like, you don't fuck nobody over. You stand by what you're gonna say, and you do what you say what you do, you know. And we stuck to our guns, and we basically have a pretty damn good group now of great guys that have turned into just acquaintances to now having friends and buddies, and that basically leads up to how you and I met.
Yeah.
We were in the chat group.
We were in the original GI Joe Classified chat group, and that was when fucking they did we were in the Facebook group, and then of course they launched the chat group, and that's when like everybody was getting like a couple thousand notifications for conversations that we weren't fucking in. Like, I didn't have any part of this shit, and then I can't remember the initial conversation. I remember what was leading up to it before, and I remember what was leading up to it, or what came out after. But I remember
the whole
Kid
conversation.
had
it was me. It was me. I was fucking around with doing a custom. I mean, people know in our group that I try to use every fucking piece that I can. I don't like wasting shit. If I can't use it, you or Jamie get it. You know what I mean? Jamie from Theo. And I think I took a movie Storm Shadow's head and I popped it on a Crimson Viper's body. And I'm like, hey, it worked. It fit pretty damn good. I like my heads to pop on and fit. I don't like using tech. I don't have to. I try to make everything solid as possible because we all know shit falls off. And if it falls off shelves, you might not find it again. So essentially I did it and I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. So I posted it and this guy's like, why the fuck did you put Storm Shadow's head on a class or on a retro or a Viper body? I'm like, because it's mine, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then people started saying shit like, jumping his shit. And then I said something to him. I can't remember what I said to him. And you started laughing. And I was like, he got it. He got my fucking foot. I wasn't trying to be a dick to the guy, but I basically told him to fuck off politely. And
the guy was being a dick. And there was another one who did one with Henry Golding Snake Eyes, and he put that on an Alley Viper body. Around the same time, and somebody was clowning on him, and I'm like, dude, it's his fucking money. He spent the time on it. It's his effort. It's in his collection. If he's happy with it, fuck yeah, dude, I'm all for it. There's a lot of very opinionated assholes that share their opinion that nobody fucking asked them for, and it's different if you're posting to get the attention, but if you're just exchanging ideas, like, some people should reel that shit in just a little bit. Like, understand that some people don't know what they're doing and they're just figuring it out. And that guy was a real dick. He was just a complete asshole.
I mean, I remember who he was, and I remember who he is to this day. And he actually, I conversated with him afterwards a few times, and he was actually pretty cool. He just, I don't know what his problem was. I mean,
he was a dick that day.
Well, I think that he knew that he didn't get the response he was hoping for, and at that point, I mean, it's a lot different now. I mean, obviously the chat group's gone. That first group got shut down for whatever reason, and but the line's progressed so far now that everybody's kit bashing and shit and doing their own things, and it's more acceptable. Not that it shouldn't be not acceptable, but people are fucking around left and right.
Whether you're doing a full-on custom build with a full-on original head sculpt that you 3D printed, sanded, painted, or you're just doing regular pop and swaps using something from a Marvel Legend or a Star Wars Black Series or an Indiana Jones Black Series, or anything in scale, like a pop and swap is just as much of a custom as a full-on 3D printed, head-to-toe, painted, sculpted figure. Yes, there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of creativity put into it and thought behind it. And if it's just, a random 5-minute dive through a bag and see what sticks, or it was plotted and penciled out for over months of painstaking agony, they're all fucking figures and they're all awesome. And everybody's contribution continues this obsession, this need to play and tinker, and I'm all for it. I'm here for it all day. I love seeing everybody do builds, all of them. Doesn't matter what they're wanting to build, what they're trying to build, what came up accidentally. I think the process is fucking incredible, and I'm all for it and supporting it. I didn't expect I didn't expect that conversation to turn into what it became. Like you
Well, I
initially
mean,
was like, "Hey man, do you like to do trades or would you do trades?" I'm like, "Yeah, I could do fucking trades, sure."
well, if you remember correctly, prior to that happening, you and we talked prior about a trade. It didn't work out. So I'm like, okay, cool, man. I don't even remember what the hell it was about, but I showed you a bunch of shit, and you're like, yeah, that's dope. But we all know you're balling on a budget, and I think that it was just
At the
something that was
time, it was even stricter because like
yeah,
I had been at home about a year at that point out of the hospital,
yeah,
and like I had fucking hundreds of dollars worth of figures and shit that I don't need or didn't need, and I'm like, because you buy something with an idea and it sits there on the shelf, and you're like, I like your obsession with NECA. NECA's hit and miss for a lot of folks. They look great, they're beautiful, limitedly articulated statues, but if you
yeah.
apply a little too much oomph on them, they can be a bit fragile at times. They're not the
Well,
worst, but they're not the best either.
essentially, what I was doing, I was just trying to get rid of all my McFarlane shit, and I did for the most part.
Yeah.
People that were interested in it, no pushing, no like, hey, you gotta take
Oh
this. I
yeah,
was just,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
anybody interested in this stuff, I really don't want it. You know what I mean? I was just trying to get it
That's kind of
classified
how
and
it was
clear.
for me. I
Yeah,
ended up picking up a few, I don't say obscure. I picked up a few odd pieces that didn't quite fit in hopes that I'd be able to do something interesting with them. And then I stumbled onto classifieds because I was doing other lines at the time, and classifieds just came out. And I was playing a little catch up myself, as I mentioned previously in other videos. And when I started doing that, I realized that certain figures and certain brands, like NECA or like McFarlane Toys, uh, their scale is slightly bigger. Sometimes it's not a big deal if you're going for like a bigger, larger size custom. But if you're trying to do a regular size guy, it doesn't work. They're just too big.
yeah,
So I had to, maneuver trade. Great accessories, not so great figures. Awesome figures, just wrong collection. So like it came in handy being able to move stuff that other people were into. You and Turk were you guys were pretty inviting and open about everything. I explained my situation when I got to the groups. Like, hey, look, I'm limited on what I can do, but if you can work with me on a trade, we can make it to where both parties are happy. And I like that concept.
yeah,
There was a lot of goodwill, faith, opportunity put there, like because you're putting yourself out there. You don't know if somebody's gonna like give you a slip, fucking send you some bullshit. You get a figure, or you don't get a figure at all, and you've already sent your stuff out. So there was a huge unknown there.
I mean,
I'm glad that worked out.
yeah. At some point, I mean, in this ordeal, in this hobby per se, I'm pretty sure almost not everybody, but a lot of people have been fucked over just trying to make a good square deal, and it's a shame that happens. And that's the
I
whole
have been on the
reason.
receiving end of that. I've been on the
Yeah,
receiving end of those a few times.
and
It
that's the whole
sucks when that
reason.
happens.
That's the whole reason we started this. I mean, and as far as it goes now, you and I talk about this all the time. Um, I mean, Chris and I, we've traded fucking millions of times. I mean, I'm sure, I mean, it's always, hey, what's fucking yeah, what are you doing now? But now it's to the point where like it's evolved, and we're just
Yeah,
not strangers anymore. We're all buddies, and it's like,
yeah,
if you need something, I'm just gonna send it to you, and then later on, it's get me later. You know what I mean? It doesn't
yeah.
always have to be a trade right now.
That's kind of how it works. I mean, it's not like that with everybody, but it is like that with you on my end. And Jamie's in the same boat.
Well,
Theo,
Juan
Jamie,
too. Yeah,
Juan is there, yes. And I occasionally reach out and do that with Warren, the mad scientist buddy on Theo. Like everybody obviously has items that they all want to get, and if I can get it, cool. This is what I can do. Just catch me up later, or we'll have running conversations with running trades. Like for example, Clutch went as an example, like when Clutch was traded and we didn't know what I was gonna give you for it. We just came on a price. We like, okay, this is Operation Monster Force. for an example. I've got such and such pre-order, such and such pre-order. They're both sold out. I have 2 extras. Would you be interested? And you're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Cool. Change the address. Deal's done. We're just waiting on that notification, which should be coming any day, knock on wood, whenever something like that happens. Like, stuff like that pops up, which is awesome.
We've talked about this before, and I mean, I think other than yourself, and luckily my friend Jamie, from a childhood friend, he already had one. So between you two and maybe 2 other people were the only individuals that were going to get that second one from me. I got a nice guy that I have met from trading and doing stuff within the groups, and he's actually not far from me here in Ohio. He's about an hour away. He 3D prints, and his name's Jim Shepard. Super nice guy. Him and I have traded several times, and he's on the level. He's a great guy. And he's like, yeah, I got an extra one. I'm not using it. And I'm like, dude, I'm down. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I think he ordered multiples just for the vamps.
I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to get a vamp. If that doesn't happen, then hopefully they can do a reissue at some point. I'm not doing the $200 for one. That's just too fucking much. But with having clutch, I'm good on the vamp for a while.
If I remember correctly, there's a second vamp. It's the Mark II, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the clutch necessarily drives that one. I don't remember, but I know there's a second.
I just need a vehicle for him to drive. Like, I'll fucking get the Ostriker and move Diaper Boy over. It's like, come on, man, move over, crankcase. Gonna let a real man drive. I don't care what it is. I just want a Joe vehicle for him because I don't have the other. But again, that's down the road.
Didn't we talk to Juan about him 3D printing one? We found a file for one or something.
We found a file for one. It's like $40 for the file, and you could do regular or you could do an extended cab instead of doing the add-on from Gridiron. I've got it all earmarked. I'm not sure. We got time. He's currently, for those that don't know, our buddy Juan, G.I. Dro. He's been in the FIO with us a few times. One episode, of course, is on YouTube. He does incredible 3D printing as well. And he is currently working on transformers. Fucking incredible transformers that are articulatable, that move, and they're in varying scales, all of which work really well with classifieds. In the transformed form, in the standing up part, not the vehicle side. But yeah, no, he's doing that. So once he gets done with that and I can get on the other side of July, that's when my pre-orders clear up and I can possibly work in some more stuff down the road. Everything's long-term build, man. Everything is.
Not, tooting my own horn, but Juan is on the fucking level. He's printed me some badass shit. I mean, I fell in love with he got me a Wolverine. The thing's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Rafts, porta shitters. Them porta shitters are fucking cool, man. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, the porta shitters are nice.
They're dope. I mean, everything he does, and like, in literally one day, I was just in our chat group, just saying how nice it would be to have like 2-scale hound to put with my clutch and vamp. How awesome that would be. And the next thing I fucking know, he's already printed it for me. I'm like, dude, that's dope. Then when I got that thing in hand, it's articulated as fuck. It moves. It doesn't break. He's a fucking genius, man. So, I mean, he's busy. He's a busy man. So if he's printing you something, just know you're going to get gold. But be patient. I mean, it's going to be worth it, and 110%. And then he made me some, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a fueler per se for my ramp rats, and that thing's amazing too. I mean, I can't tell you how much this shit's awesome. It's just awesome.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed seeing it. I got the random message at like fucking 2 a.m. Like, hey man, you want to see what I'm working on? I'm like, yeah, sure. It's like, shh, mum's the word, don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. So he fucking sends me these photos, and it was the hound, because he wanted me to do a video for the completion, for the reveal. So I showed him how to do that. And then he sent me another video of the prototypes for the ramp rats, the little transports that he was working on. And of course they had the lights in it and everything was already together. Like, dude, they're fucking incredible. Like, so cool. And everything's in scale. Like, everything looks beautiful.
Well, not to mention our buddy Adrian Wilson, he's in the group also. He's another guy I met through channels of trading and this, that, and the other. Him and I became really good friends, and he's a busy individual as well. But he asked for specific things from Juan, and Juan made him an APC, and that thing was fucking perfect in my opinion. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, and Adrian
Magnets
loved it
on
too.
everything. Yeah,
It's fucking.
it was incredible.
Zing, amazing.
So, Checkpoint Bravo. That was the chat. That is what the group of individuals, collectors from all over the country. Everybody trading, everybody doing deals, pickups, stuff like that. That's evolved. It is more than just that now.
Yes, we also changed the name too because, not to mention it. I mean, some members are still there, obviously, but as you mentioned, things evolved, especially with what you got going on here with your channel. And I'm an admin, obviously. 'Cause we started it, me and Turk did, and then Turk is no longer in the group anymore. He's doing other things with other people, and he's having his fun times with some other gentlemen that do amazing things in the classified field as well. Evil Dookie, the dude
he's doing the rough cut, and he's killing it with Evil Dookie, who is fucking on fire with his Knot County and then the Knot Cove portion of dealing with dreadnoughts and pirates. And dude, all of that, the fucking builds are incredible. The machines, the bikes, the converted fucking lowriders, like all of that shit it's insane.
Yeah. But when he decided to no longer be in our group, I just felt the need to just keep everything on the level. I'm not saying that I'm going to do anything that doesn't, fit into our group and be kosher. I just feel like it's always good to have a second person to help out and be a right-hand man and to bounce ideas off of. And you were the best choice, you know what I mean? And I appreciate it greatly. It's just, you keep me in check, I keep you in check, we keep the group in check. You know what I mean? It's just something that we all value as a whole. And when I'm not available, you're right there, And our other buddy Alex, he's awesome as well. I met him as well, and he's on the level, and he's a great guy, and he offered to help out too. So I mean, we honestly don't even need it, to be honest. Everybody's great, and it's like I said, it's evolved so far into something that I couldn't even imagine that it turned into, and I'm extremely grateful for it, because some of the best guys I know are in that fucking group, and it's just how it is.
Well, it's fun. It started out for myself anyway. It was a way to pick up, figures that were not in my area, and that's what you guys mentioned is what you started it with, and then, after in December of that first year, I mean, we're going on almost 4 years now. We did the Christmas giveaway where everybody got gifts from one another. There was about a dozen of us or so in the original group, and then after Turk left, and some other people cycled through, either they left on their own or they were removed due to posting shooter pics.
Well, we have a saying at my job, and we fabricate propane tanks for we're the leading industry in the world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We always have a saying, like, this place isn't for everybody. If you're here, and you fit in, great. Continue to do so. You know what I mean? And we've had a fair share of people that didn't quite fit in. They just didn't understand the gist of what we did and the magnitude of where we were when they joined, and we tried to explain it to them. Some people just aren't outgoing. And it's not they were bad people, it's just they weren't the right fit per se.
Yeah, no, I got you.
We've had to kick some people out because they weren't on the level, and I don't appreciate people doing my friends dirty or myself. You know what I mean? That's always something that we establish right off the bat. As you know,
trust is a big deal.
Yeah, Chris does the onboarding. I'll let him take care of that. He's got a whole spiel and lets everybody know. Hey, this is how it is. If you're not on the level, you're on probation. You know what I mean? You're gonna be out the fucking door.
Pretty much. Like, so the chat as it is now. Again, we've referenced this shit all the time. It is always open to people who like to collect. It is open to people who like to barter and trade, that aren't trying to, I don't want to say extort. Extort's the wrong word, but
bend some over.
We're not looking to give up a $90 figure or get a $90 figure for something that costs $24. Like that doesn't work. So everybody tries to be fair, in quotations, as much as possible, while everybody, of course, is responsible for their own deals. Like Bryan mentioned, the general concept was give your word. Your word is what we're basing everything on. I am taking you at the level that everything is going to be in good condition, and I in turn am going to do the same. You just have to give tracking on your packages, and if something happens, like life, because life events do occur, just tell us. And that's always been a thing, and for the most part, everybody's been good on that. There have been some hiccups. Adults just not adulting. That is what it is. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's a thing. Apparently, some people just can't fucking do it. There are collectors that I have met through the chat that didn't work out in the group setting that was there, but I've continued to speak to outside, and they're phenomenal. Again, amazing people. They do amazing content. They do amazing builds, and their collections are dope, but they just weren't a fit. For the most part, It's a classified chat, so it's pretty much G.I. Joe. But
I mean, we've discussed this several times. I mean, to the point of the group size as it is now, we don't want it to get very much larger. Just the simple fact that it might get out of control. But like Chris and I have chatted before, like if you meet somebody and you think that they're on the level and they're going to bring nothing but good stuff to the group, then there's one person right now that's a shoo-in. If he ever decides to get social media, and that's our boy Woody 222. I love that dude. He's awesome. I met him. Him and I hit it off. We've been friends ever since. And I introduced him to Chris, and he was on the channel. And the dude's awesome. I would love nothing more for him to be in our group, but he's just not down with the social media, and I respect that. But his YouTube channel is fire. If you don't know him by now, you should. Get to know that dude's channel. He makes fire ass fucking videos. I look forward to them whenever they're out, and I can't say anything nothing but good about the guy.
Yeah, no, Woody's awesome. I've been interacting with him in his own channel for better part of like 2 years now, and then of course through Same Time Toys with Smoking Joe's and Shane. Again, same thing. It took forever to finally be able to link up and do conversations with the Figure Junkie. Thank you for helping get that facilitated.
No problem.
It was an awesome conversation with him, dude. Like he's just fucking cool dude. Very cool cat.
No, as soon as I met him, and I started watching his videos. I'm like, this dude's awesome, man. I mean, and not just because he's a friend of mine, but I love his channel. I think he has one of the best channels out there. I know he doesn't do reviews; he just shows what he picks up. But his willingness to commit, I'm all for it. I'm always there, and I'm going to watch it. Besides him, I mean, the best person that I like to watch myself, which is Bobby B. B's Battlegrounds. He's dope. Him and Shark. He's great too. Shark Eyes.
Yeah, no, I like cool. Shark Eyes. Bees Battleground is the one that I prefer watching when it comes to reviews. I just like the way he does it. Which kind of want to get into my next point, toy tubing. So we mentioned that in the group, it's evolved to what it is now, where we do monthly giveaways, where we raffle off figures for free in the group. Whoever wins pays it forward the next month. Christmas giveaways, where we give away figures to each other for the holidays, whichever one you celebrate at that particular time of year. We forayed into using that for toy tubing, for conversations with the Figure Junkie here, figuring it out, a podcast with figures and friends, or friends and figures, excuse me. I never thought about actually doing a YouTube channel. I never thought that it was going to be something that I would be interested in. I remember initially that we talked about helping convince Turk to do the videos for those consoles that he was making, which were fucking fire, when I first met him. And of course he did that and started launching that and started doing that. And then that took off after he left the group, with everything that he was doing. You mentioned before that you didn't want to, you would get on and do a session, but you weren't interested in becoming a toy tuber. Right. That's changed because you are essentially a toy tuber now. You have been on like half a dozen fucking episodes with me here. You are a G.I. Joe classified figure collector, but you are also kind of in the foyer of being an action figure collector because it's more than just classifieds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I try to stick to classified, but you always fucking get me on something else, and I'm fucking weak. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all dope toys, man. It's all dope, and they all fit.
Yeah, if it
So,
fits, it fits, man.
what do you think about the toy community as a whole? Both the YouTube stuff that you see, and then the social media stuff, like through Facebook. Like, what is your impression of the community that you interact with?
I honestly out of interacting with that old group in that chat group. I mean, it was a lot. It was much. And unfortunately, like we talked about already, there's a lot of people that aren't on the level, and they are willing to fuck you, whoever else is around them, and their neighbor, And I don't
No,
I don't go for. So now after all that shut down, um, I don't want to toot my own horn or take credit for it, but I talk to Jeremy Kimberlin every now and again. He's a good dude. I don't have any
yeah,
problems with him at all. He's always been nice to me. I've done some trades with him. I bought off of him, and him and I were chatting one day, and I said, you know your shit. You do a good job, and you keep everybody informed with your knowledge and your willingness to help everybody else out. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's because of me that he started the pit, but I told him, I said, dude, I think you should do it. If you do, I'm here for it.
yeah.
I would love and nothing more than to see you start another channel or another page. Sorry. And he did, and it's a great group. I like it. I think the
Yeah.
dude's awesome.
Yeah, no, Kimberlin's awesome. I enjoy the pit. I like the content that they have there. Of course, again, all the updates for G.I. Joe Classifieds and other figures in the 1/12 scale variety. I like the contest giveaways that they do. Him and Zim,
Yeah,
who is another admin on that page. That's how I got my uh, Dragonfly HasLab $20
that was
ticket.
awesome. That was
Fuck
awesome.
yeah, it was.
I was happy. That could have happened to a better
Dude,
person.
so fucking floored when that happened. I was watching the wheel spin, and I had like 40 minutes to go, and I paused it to take the dogs out or whatever, and then I come back to sit down here where I am now, and I pull
Yeah,
up my phone, and there's the messenger open. It's like, you're the big winner. Which HasLab would you like? I'm like, you're fucking kidding. I'm like
yeah.
40 minutes to go. Hold on. Fast forward to like the final 5 entries, and there I am. Like, dude, fucking so happy, so happy. Um, but yeah, no, the pit's awesome. Kimberlin's fantastic. I enjoy getting everything in one spot, and he does a really good job of keeping everything updated. I hated that the original classified group got flagged because of assholes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But
them out there. I mean,
there are a lot. Everybody's entitled, unfortunately, which is the negative side of social media.
to answer your question though, I mean, like here lately, I just stick to our group, and then what you got going on here. I mean, what you got, you've been killing it with the YouTube channel, and that's the only reason why I'm
I
jumping
appreciate
in.
it.
I'm 10 toes on the business side of it, man. I love it. You're doing a great job. I'm here to support it. If you need me, I'm down. You want me in it? I'm down.
Yeah.
But as far as the other groups go, man, it's just I haven't been paying too much attention to them. To me, it feels like it's not as bad when I do skim or scroll through. But like I said, I'm not really invested, so I'm not really in on the drama and bullshit side of it. I just don't care to be. I don't want to be. I like what we got going on, and that's where I'm sticking to.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I like
I mean,
supporting other content creators, especially if they are
yeah,
building. Yeah, I
I
like
don't
the
know if
guys that are building shit.
yeah. It's evolved so much. You know what I mean? There's people build cool ass shit. People build cool ass shit. But I just don't really care for the bullying side of it. I don't know if you remember a while back, we have a buddy in our group named Kevin, and him and I share the same birthday. He's cool as shit. I like the guy. We hit it off really quick. Great guy. And someone was just talking shit to him and being an asshole for no reason. I was like, I was steaming pissed, dude. I was ready to go after this fucking dude. And I said some choice words to him, and I was like, I don't want to get flagged and kicked out of here. You know what I mean? So I kind of just mellowed the fuck out, and just it just sucks, man. You don't need to treat people like that. Don't don't
No,
don't be a dick.
nope. I am all for positive vibes, and unfortunately, harboring around all that negativity and angst
Yeah.
is not healthy. It's not healthy for your mental psyche, and it's not good for the community.
No, I mean I get people are dicks. You can talk shit to people, but it's just the fact that I know Kevin, and Kevin's such a nice fucking guy, and he didn't deserve that
Mhm.
shit, and that's what fucking set me off.
Yeah, no, I
Don't
know
you?
Kevin too. I met him in the group. He's a solid dude.
He's
In
super
fact,
nice, dude.
both Kevins that we've had in the group are solid. But yeah. So, classified collector, what's coming out that you haven't seen or haven't heard of that you want most as an action figure junkie? What's the item?
I honestly, I've been waiting for IG Destro. Now that we're getting him, I never thought we'd
Oh,
get this.
come on. Something else. Something that has not been announced. Something that has not an inkling. What's the item?
This was prior to that. You know what I mean? Like I was waiting and waiting. I knew we'd get him at some point. At some point, I knew we would get him. I didn't know it was going to be to the magnitude that it is, and I'm not mad about it. But as of right now, one thing that will probably I want that we'll never get is the maggot with the worm driver. And technically, I have one. I've been saying this for months, and our buddy Alex, we mentioned earlier, he built me one. The fucker's cool as shit. It's nice. It's actually really cool. He did a lot of work on it, and I appreciate it. It's a great piece to have. But I would love to have that figure in that vehicle and classified. But it's more likely not. It's gonna be fucking huge, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be coming out with a lot of vehicles. I hope that the recent pivot that they're doing on the classified, that they start going in with more vehicles, even if they're the pay to order. Or however that works. Like they're doing with the Arctic Hiss. Like I would be cool with that. Like if they were to give us a list of figures or vehicles, and you could put your order in, and then they'll make it and go from there.
Well, I mean, everybody claims the Thunder Machine's coming, and I'm happy to side with them and say yes, I believe it is, and I hope it is, because it'd be awesome. I would love to have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be a HasLab. It should be like the Stinger, maybe $100 or so or more, whatever, with the tariffs and prices where they're at now. I'll pay it. That's fine. I probably want to. But I don't know why we haven't got it yet. I mean, the thing should be an easy fucking layup for them. You throw maybe female claw person with it, or maybe even the Stinger driver in a different outfit, different color. I'd be down for that. That's a cool figure.
I think some of those, there were third-party vehicles, like Fan Home or Fan Hobby.
Yeah, I'm not buying I classified one.
Well, no, I think that the reason why Hasbro didn't put one out is because those came out so early, so they didn't do anything right then.
I'm not
eventually, I think we're going to be getting some of those. Some of those, I believe, are going to come out.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because they're pivotal to the line, man. Like,
I'm not throwing any shade on Fans Hobby or anything like that. They're cool and everything. I just rather have a classified version with the cool trooper.
Yeah, no, I want the troopers too.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they didn't do it with the snake armor. I think is already badass and large and in charge as it is. I'm happy to have it, but it'd been even cooler.
Yeah,
but
I made my own driver. I made my own driver and operator.
Well, you made one for me too, so he's currently in one of mine.
No, mine is over here in front of me, and then the driver is here behind the bald head in that green section. Yeah, dude, I can't believe that we've been talking for like a fucking hour already. I appreciate you taking the time to fucking sit with me and do conversations with a Figure Junkie.
Always.
So this whole thing, again, for everybody that would be watching this, was to get you guys a little more familiar with Bryan. Hopefully by the time this airs, you guys would have seen that there's been some changes done to figuring it out. We'll be going from a 2-man booth to a more consistent 3-man with Jamie, Monkey King 13, and then Bryan being with us consistently each week, every other week as we record and do sessions as news and content is available. I hope you guys enjoy all the changes, man. I appreciate you guys, the audience, for being along with us on this journey. Bryan, brother, you and I have become very good friends throughout this whole endeavor. It started out as a random fucking conversation with some asshole on Messenger about not being a dick with people's toys to talking all day, every day, 365 days a year for like the last 3 going on 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
I appreciate all of the conversations, brother. I appreciate all of it. The toys, the figures, more importantly, the friendship. We finally hung out in person for the first time last month for 4 hours. It didn't feel like 4 hours. We went through a lot of fucking stores and hung out and laughed, and I had an absolute blast, man. And I'm appreciative of it. I love you to death, brother. I thank you so much for taking and inviting me along in this journey, and I hope that you are enjoying this other journey that we're on together. Yeah. And I look forward to seeing where it all goes, bro.
It's been great. Like I said, it's going awesome, and I everybody has their, oh, I don't want to be on YouTube, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, camera shot per se, whatever. That was never the case with me. It's just I just didn't know what my availability was going to be like. But I mean, as it comes out, I mean, I'm pretty available. So
yeah, I'm pretty amendable, motherfucker. I can work with any schedule. That's the perk of being retired disabled. I got nothing but time. Yeah, if you can squeeze out an hour, I can make it work.
Yeah, and as far as the way it's going now, everything is going great, and I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be a part of it. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So even though this is not part of FIO, I do want to mention, because we have the build off, which should be showing up in June for the results. Bryan is a part of it. Hopefully everybody else, it gets their figures in, and we had a nice big turnout, so we can continue to do that going forward. So depending on when this airs, if it hasn't come out with a winner yet, make sure you get your builds in. And if you missed out on the one for the retros, when we do the next one, same procedure, follow the instructions, pick up a free figure for building a custom figure that you were going to build anyway, and share some photos. On that note, for the audience, YouTubers, ToyTubers, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you're not already. Do check us out on Fridays when we air the episodes of Figuring It Out, a podcast with friends and figures. And then, of course, this comes once a month, middle of the month, for conversations with Figure Junkie. I'm NorCal Voodoo. That is Reckless4130. We appreciate your time. Thank you guys for sitting in with us.
Yep.